everyone, guess who's back? It's Kamish back here with another draft preview. This time I got Stan and BC Lions, a guy that had a pretty good year last year, second place finish. Was right there in the championship with Sean, but was destined to be Sean's year. And I will say this, just like Sean, you did kind of go all in a little bit to try to win the championship, and obviously that makes a lot of sense, and probably a big part of the reason why you finished second. I haven't seen you online much. I've asked a couple questions on whether or not you're going to be at the Lions games. I haven't seen you there at the Lions games, but they do have season tickets this year. So if you're around, let me know. Just going to share my screen. Just keep to get organized here. All right, here we go. BC Lions Tier 1 draft preview. So your current keepers right now, I think you got some good ones, especially when we look at the running back room with Jahmyr Gibbs. This guy really took off last year. I think the only thing that could hurt him is the dreaded sophomore slump, so to speak. But Jahmyr Gibbs is a baller, and case could be said that maybe he was a little bit better in Bijan last year. We'll have to see how they compare this year. You also have James Cook, running back Buffalo. Um, it'd be interesting to see if he actually takes more carries away with Devin Singletary gone, or do a couple of rookies that are coming in there, including Frank Gore's son, take some snaps away. Time will remain to be seen there. I think James Cook, no matter what's still going to be utilized in the passing game, I'm sure. And Josh Allen definitely, I think, is a pass first quarterback. You got a couple of veteran wide receivers, DK Metcalf, Seattle Seahawks. That one concerns me a little bit just because the quarterback play in Seattle is quite poor. I would not want to have a wide receiver with Geno Smith, or I don't even know who the other quarterback is there. Sam Howell, I think it is. Yeah, not the guys I want throwing to my receiver, but Metcalf is a bit of a baller for sure. Amari Cooper, he's upset in Cleveland. He wants a payday. He knows he's at that age now where this is his last chance to get a payday. And I don't know if Cleveland's willing to give it to him, to be honest. And that could mean trouble because he could end up being a holdout for you. So that's something to watch out for. Hopefully he's not. And then you throw in TJ Hawkinson, tight end mini. This one also I feel is a bit of an iffy keeper. Hawkinson with that major injury later in the year last year. So I don't even think he's going to be ready until the halfway point of the year. And we'll have to see how effective he's going to be at that point. So Hawkinson's one that I'm a bit concerned about for you as keepers, just because he's going to be pretty much useless for you in the first half of the year, really, because he's going to be coming back from an injury. And so I think if you have somebody else you can throw in that slot, might be a better idea, or maybe you can make a trade and try to upgrade. And then your IDP, it'll be interesting to see how Devin White does in Philly. He's finally out of Tampa Bay. I think he's been wanting out of Tampa Bay for a while. He knows small market Tampa Bay is never really going to go that far. I mean, although they did win with Tom Brady, but Philadelphia, I think, is a bigger market, and there's an opportunity there. I mean, you guys know for years I said Nakobe Dean was a bust. And I mean, why do you think they got Devin White, right? So, that's for your Philly Eagles fans out there listening. I said Dean was a bust. Kind of worked out, didn't it? Draft pick scenario. This is where things get awfully interesting for you. You do have 7 picks in rounds 1 to 10. And compared to Sean, who we just previewed, who only had 6, I guess that's a bit of an improvement. You do pick 19th. So I do think you'll be able to still get somewhat of a decent player there at 19, someone serviceable for sure. And then you pick 2 in round 3, 48 and 59, and those are going to be huge picks. And, if I was you, I might be looking to double up there. It might be a scenario where maybe you pick 3 wide receivers first and just go hard on your flex and try to get good players. It's hard to say. I mean, obviously you probably have a strategy in mind. Where I'm worried for you, and it's kind of similar to Sean's scenario, no 6 and 7. That's when we're trying. Usually, guys are grabbing IDPs in those middle rounds, so that's where you can build your linebackers, etc. And not everyone does, but generally that's what you do see in some drafts. And then, when you look at rounds 11 to 20, I guess the good news is there you do have, well, it's 12 picks. So not all of them are in the back nine, so to speak. But when you look at these picks, you do have six of those picks happening in the 17th, 18th, 19th round. So definitely very much later in the draft. But by having 12 picks in the middle, you might actually still be able to build a decent team, I think, Stan. And then rounds 21 to 29. Yeah, you do have the five picks in the last three rounds, which obviously isn't ideal for any draft. But again, you went on all in last year to try to win, and he came close. I think Sean just got lucky; his team stayed healthy, and I know your team. I'd say you might have had some injuries. I know I had injuries, so but Sean definitely deserved the championship. But you gave it your best effort. There's no doubt about that. Looking at likely first pick, Sean's thinking you're going JJ McCarthy. I find that one kind of interesting, to be honest, just because he's a rookie quarterback, and I honestly do not see you taking that kind of risk with your first pick, but maybe you do. I was looking at it, and I think, because you're from BC, it looks like maybe you like Seattle too. You got DK Metcalf there. I could see you going with somebody like Tyler Lockett at pick 19. I think it would be a bit of a mistake picking a wide receiver off the same team, but I've seen you do some questionable things before, Stan, and then Cortland Sutton is another option there. But of course, Cortland Sutton, of course, is having the contract concerns in Denver. So that would be something to monitor. Either he might go up in the draft or maybe he actually goes down in the draft, just depending on how that gets resolved. All right, so potential storylines, and sorry, I still have Sean's logo up here, so that's my mistake. I apologize for that, Stan. I'll cover up his logo. Potential storylines here, if things go well, Sean says, hey, I could see him maybe going into the championship game if things go well. And I'll share his commentary here in a moment. And then if things go bad, Sean's got ninth or 10th. So definitely thinks fairly highly of you, Stan. For myself, I think if things go well, you're maybe a fringe playoff team. I don't see you competing for the championship, to be honest. If things go bad, I got you at 17th or 18th place, to be honest. I could see the Amari Cooper situation going sideways. I could see TJ Hawkinson not coming back for a while, and even when he does come back, not being very effective, which is why I have you down lower. So let me share Sean's take. He says a good solid base of keepers and picks are a little sporadic, but very doable. He will need a great draft to make it to the ship again, but it can be done. Best case championship game, worst case 9 to 10. So, my take is I think it's a survival year for you a little bit, right? Because of the draft pick center, I think you could get a good roster still. I just think that it's not going to be a roster that's going to compete for a championship. And with the amount that you would have to buy to compete for that championship, I think it'd be a fair amount and could put you in a situation where maybe you could drop next year if it didn't work out. So I think if this is one of those years where you just kind of get through, and then next year you try to gear up again for a championship. But again, I know what it's like. Not everyone likes to do that. I know for myself, it sucks being one of those lower half teams all year long. And I know I would love to make the trades to try to be a better team, and likely you'll try to do the same, Stan. So, anyways, hopefully we'll see you at some BC Lions games this year, and hopefully see you online soon enough. All right. Have a good year, Stan. Bye for now.